Hey guys, today's video is going to be a pretty quick little settings video similar to the guides I've done in the past. I got a lot of questions and comments on my last video about random various settings, and I figured it'd be easier to just throw together another little video. Just one thing to note before we hop into my settings: this is going to be favored towards visibility and performance over graphics, so if that is what you're looking for, then this is not the video for you. Yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right into my settings. So starting off on the general tab, I would recommend turning off camera shake during sprint, FOV sprint scaling, and switch weapon on pickup, as this can mess you up in certain situations and scenarios. And I personally prefer having like the darken effect on flashbangs over the bright flash of white on your screen, so I turn that on, but obviously that's personal preference. My minimap is currently default and I might change it in the future. I guess I'll update in the comments or something if I end up changing that. And in the display tab, my enemy color is yellow in every single game I've ever played, and I personally think that this is the easiest to see, but if you wanted to, you could go with like purple. That's probably the second best option. And I would display headwear off. Coming down to the crosshair section, I personally hate the default reticles and scopes that they put in the game, and so I'd rather use the crosshair when zooming in. So apply to hipfire and sight crosshair. This just makes it so that when you zoom in with like any of the scopes, it's actually your crosshair that you make instead of the default shitty crosshair that they made. I would definitely recommend that. And then here are my settings, but I'm going to leave the crosshair code in the description. It might look a little bit different for you depending on the res and like aspect ratio you use, but yeah, these are my settings. And then you'll just change the color down here. I don't know if when you copy the crosshair code if it changes these settings, but you want these set to static. The other dynamic mode just makes it harder to see. And then coming over to the keyboard tab, all of these are pretty much default except for my push to talk key if anybody cares about that, and we'll be skipping the controller tab obviously. So coming into sensitivity, I play 0.38 on 1600 DPI, which is 27 centimeters, and none of these other settings matter. So coming into the video tab, this is going to look very similar for people that have been following my channel for a while or watch any of my other settings guides, but I'm playing on 4.3 1440 by 1080 on 120 FOV. And coming down here to the filter, I would personally recommend playing highlight or vivid. I personally don't like the other two, and highlight makes your screen a little bit brighter and just makes enemies a little bit more visible, so I would definitely recommend this. And then coming down to VSync, I would definitely turn this off, turn off anti-tearing, as if you have this on, it will give you input lag. And this would only be for if you have like screen tearing issues, but yeah, I'm assuming most of you won't have those. Under minimalist graphics, I would definitely advise turning this on, as it smooths out a lot of the textures and whatnot, and I think this might even give you an FPS boost. And then we're just rocking simplified on all three of these, and then minimalist for effects, as it just further reduces some of the effects visibility. You'll still be able to see like all of the important effects and everything like that, like the heals and everything on the ground. It just reduces them a little bit more, again reducing some of that clutter. And then I would advise turning on UI animation reduction. This just reduces some of like the UI elements that you don't really care to see and don't really affect your gameplay at all. Coming down to the quality settings, this is going to depend slightly on the graphics card you're using. I'm personally on a 3070, and most people on Intel cards will probably be using DLSS. And in this game, I run quality. Compared to my other videos, I usually run on performance or ultra performance. In this game, I find that it just gets super blurry in long range fights, and so I would definitely recommend quality. But if you have a really bad PC, you can still run on performance and ultra performance. I just find that it's gonna hinder you a little bit, most likely. Coming down to the actual settings here, I'm going to be playing with low latency mode on reflex, obviously. Normally there's a boost option. I don't know why it's only one, or if this has changed or been updated recently. But yeah, just go ahead and turn that on. And then I'm pretty much going to be playing with everything low or off, other than UI resolution, because this doesn't really affect your performance and just makes the UI look really shitty. So I would definitely leave that on high. And coming into the final tab that we actually care about, audio, these are going to be my audio settings. And I would definitely recommend turning on character voice simplification, as this just removes a lot of the unnecessary voice lines that don't really affect gameplay while still maintaining the ones that actually do. So like when characters using abilities and whatnot and they say the voice lines, so you know they're casting that ability or whatnot, then you'll hear that, but none of the useless ones that don't matter for gameplay. So definitely turn this on. And then here's my privacy tab just for the video, even though none of this really matters. Yeah, there you go. And that's pretty much going to do it for this settings video, so thank you for watching. I hope this helped you and you enjoyed, and I'll see you probably sometime this weekend with like a normal montage type video, the same as usual on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you. Peace.